Hello guys, so this is a type of a concept learning question. So these kind of questions, you'll see them quite often. What they do is that they try to introduce you to a new concept, and they give you some background info on it, and some rules, and some examples on how it works. Okay, these kind of questions, the difficulty is that it's a lot of information over here, and you just have to process all that information and being able to apply it. What you should do is to literally just skim read as much of this possible. Just underline the rules. Don't try to take that in mind, and use the examples to help you understand the rules better. But then as quickly as you can, come down to the question. Okay, and then from the question you can go back and refer back to the rules that's appropriate. Else you'll take too much time trying to remember all the information. For this one we have an electronic game, S to Z, yeah, and the objective is to reach position 20 in the fewest number of turns. Now, S to U or V can represent 1, 2, 3, or 4, we don't know which one, and W, X, Y, Z can have either move forward, move backward, double and move forward, subtract 1, move forward, and so on. Just underlining it, don't bother too much about processing or memorizing that. Okay? Take note of the example, because the example will help you understand it the best. S corresponds to a 3, and you press a 3, and W corresponds to 1, so 3 minus 1 is 2, and then you move forward 2 spaces, which works. Okay. And the key information is that the backward moves can only move as far as start. So if you are in position 4 and you roll a 5, for example, backwards, you won't go in negative or anything. You'll just go back to start. And if you go more than 20, you won't advance. You'll just stay at 17. I think that's what they're trying to say. Now, 3 turns are given. Come down to the question, which of the following is true? So looking at type of options, U cannot be 2, S cannot be 4. What you want to do is, for each one of the options, you want to test out saying that U can be a 2. Okay? You want to try and disprove it. It's easier to disprove it than prove it in this case. So U can be a 2. If I were to make this a 2, what would W have to be? Then W would have to, so I need to move plus 4 altogether, and W would have to be the one that says double and move forward. Double and move forward, that'll get me 4. Then from 4 I need to stay in the same space, so V and Y. So in this case, looking at the options, I can either put 1, 3, or 4, and Y can be either a move forward, move backward, or subtract 1, move forward. This is the only one that I choose, because subtract 1 and move forward means I can stay at a 0. So minus 1 but forward, so therefore V has to be a 1. And from 4 to 8 I need to do a plus 4, so then T can be a 4, and this can just be a move forward, and that works out perfectly for this. So U can be a 2, and we can cross this out. Now when they say that S cannot be a 4, then you try to make S be 4, and you see if it works. So if I make S 4 over here, okay, well, the option, actually, you know what, shouldn't I erase those ones? Now taking a look at this, U has to be W has to be a 2 and double and move forward. That's the only way you're going to get 4. The other option is if you make U 4 and W as just a move forward. In this case, if I were to put this, S can definitely not be a 4. Then looking at this, the only way you can move from you can do in turn 3 is that you have to move 4 spaces forward. The only way that's possible is if you had a 4 and a forward, or a 2 and double forward. But both options have been taken, therefore S cannot be a 4. So it is quite a bit of trial and error, but it's, I mean, even though it's trial and error, you still have to be able to set up the questions properly and go ahead with those. Now, what would happen if, okay, so new turns, new game, different rules. Same rules, different combinations of T, the top row and the bottom row. What would happen if on turn 4 a player pressed a V and Z? So we don't know what that is, so then again work your way forward. So T has to be either a 4 and move forward, or double and move 2 and double move forward. So let's take, for example, it would be a 2 and double and move forward. Then 4 to 10 is a plus 6. I don't have a number of 6. I can only go from 1 to 4. So what needs to happen is that this needs to be a 3 and move double and move forward, and this has to be a 4 and just move forward. So I've taken 4, 3. So from 10 to 9, this has to be a 1 and move backwards. Okay. There is nothing else that it can be. The only thing that moves backwards is, ooh, yeah, it has to be a 1 move backwards. There's nothing else will help gain you that. So that means that V has to be a 2 and Z has to be a, so we've taken care of a move forward, we've taken care of a move backward, we've taken care of double and move forward, so it has to be a -1 move forward. So if I press a 2 and a -1 and move forward, I'll be just left with moving forward 1 space. Now, after turn 3, what is the minimum number of additional turns needed to reach 20? So I've got 9. From 9 to 20, I need to get a positive 11. Right? Now, so again, it's a minimum number, so you want to trial and error to see if I can get that done in 2 spaces. So if I were to go, how do I go? 11, I can make a 4, and I can't make a 7, maybe an 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah, 3. So to get to that +8, I can press the 4 and double and move forward. So T and X. And for the 3, I can press the S and move forward W. So I can actually reach it in 2 spots, 2 turns. Now, new set of options, different configuration. U and Z, S and X, which are following could be turn 3. Well, what can U and Z be? So you can either be a 2 and double move forward, or a 4 and just move forward. There is nothing else it can be. Can't be a 5 -1, can't be backwards, okay? Now, S has to be a... Okay, see, the only thing that we have to go backwards, the only thing that will accommodate that is moving backwards. And if I would move backward, there is no multiplier, there is no plus or minus 1. It has to be a 4. In which case, this cannot be a 4 and this cannot be a forward. This has to be a 2 and backwards, okay? So if I've taken care of 2, 4, then T has to be either 3 or 1. Same with B. Okay. Now, what can happen in turn 3? For me to move +6 spots, you have to have a 3 and double and move forward. But a double and move forward is already taken, so this cannot be the option. For me to get to 8, it has to be literally has to be a 4 double and move forward. Again, double and move forward is already taken by Z, so it cannot be a W. Now, for this to be a 4, it either has to be a 4 plus move forward. T has to be a 4 and this has to be a move forward, or 2 and double forward. So see how 4 is already taken by S, and double forward is already taken by Z, so W cannot be that, so this is not possible either. Looking at this, to stay in the same spot, I can just roll a 1 and -1 move forward, so it'll be 0, and that's the only thing that can work. Now, last of these questions. In total, how many buttons can I have the allocation determined after turns 1 and 2? Now, T again can only be a 2 forward, or a 3 -1 forward, or a 1 and double forward. 3 different possibilities. Now, what can V be? V from, okay, V has to be a 2, Y has to be a moving backwards, nothing else will take care of it. So because it's a 2, this option is gone, so T can only be a 1 or a 3. So again, we can't figure that out which one it is, and we can't figure out which of these 2 options it is. Now, V can also be a 2 or a 3 or a 4. Well, it cannot be. Maybe it's one of these 3. It's not. But because what happens is the important bit. If you roll, they can only move as back as far start. So even if you roll a 3 and move backwards, you'll still be at 0. You won't go -1 or anything. So the only one that can determine, the only button you can determine is the value of Y, which is going to be moving backwards. So that's the answer. Okay.